Hello everyone and welcome back to another Minecraft tutorial. In this video I will be covering my elevator design. Let's go ahead and get into the functionality demo to see if this elevator is for you. So to begin with, this elevator design can go up one floor at a time, carrying players, mobs, whatever in this spot, and it can also go up. Of course it can go down. It will go down all the way down to the bottom. And it has some added functionality as well, such as being able to call the elevator to any floor from the bottom, and or any floor below, like such as the second floor could go to the top or to this next one if called by this button. And it can also be brought down all the way to the bottom from any floor. The system is pretty expandable, with the minimum amount of floors being 2 and the maximum floors being from the bottom of the world to build height, with the middle floors being easily added in between. Now more into the specifics of the contraption. The base level is 7 blocks tall with 2 above the ground level, and the items required should be on screen and in the description. The middle floors are 8 blocks tall with 3 above floor level, and once again the items required will be in the description. This is the only floor that you should have to repeat for the elevator if you decide to have more than 2 floors total. And last is the top floor, which is also 7 blocks tall with 2 blocks above floor level, and as said before, the required materials are on the screen. As you may have seen, there are stone bricks in the material list. These are there to count the total of concrete blocks I use to denote redstone lines. Black concrete represents the going up mechanism. Gray represents calling to the floor above, which would be such as this. And light gray represents calling the elevator back to the ground floor, such as that. Other notes before we get into the tutorial: the wool blocks can be any block that slime blocks can stick to, and the crying obsidian can be any block that the slime blocks cannot stick to, such as glazed terracotta, crying obsidian, or other immovable objects. Now, to get into the tutorial, the first thing you want to know is that your ground floor will need a space of 4 blocks underneath it before you get started, so go ahead and decide where your ground floor is. I will go ahead and mark it out with my crying obsidian. This block here isn't really important, but it is important to remember to not put any blocks that will stick to the flying machine as it goes up or down. So that's why I put this block here. But on the ground level, what you'll want to do is go from here over a block, place a observer, and place a crying obsidian or a normal obsidian. This does need to be an immovable object. On this layer, what you'll want to do is make a bridge above those blocks and then place normal pistons there. And then off of the back of this, you can go ahead and start placing your solid blocks in this shape. Off of this piston, you can also use that as a temporary block there, and then go over 2 blocks from there. And that was the wrong block. There we go. And place it like that. And on this side, you'll want to place more of these blocks in this shape. And that is that layer complete. From there, what you'll want to do is place a redstone line across here. Place another gray block there. And then on this side, go ahead and place another one there. Go ahead and put a repeater right there, and then a repeater here. And complete your line. You can do the same over here and just put a note block at the end. And before you place this redstone block, what you'll want to do is, or before you place that redstone dust, you'll want to place 2 slime blocks there, and then an observer facing into the redstone with the output into the slime block. And then you can go ahead and put that last redstone dust. And that is that layer complete as well. For this next layer, what you want to do is go ahead and place a gray concrete right here, and then redstone dust there and there. And then you can place an observer on top of that note block, and another one over here facing down. Then on top of this slime block, what you'll want to do is place a sticky piston facing upwards and then another one facing downwards. Then over here, you will want to place a honey block, one above that normal piston, and then a slime block above that one. Go ahead and come on out here with these and make this shape. This is just the shape that I use. The main thing is to not exceed the piston push limit. And that is that layer complete. Before we build up this tower of observers, we will be building the top floor, and then building downward is just a lot easier that way due to the way that our observers need to face. But we can go ahead and place an observer right here, and then slime blocks there with an observer facing the opposite direction of how I was about to place it with the output there. We can go ahead and place our wool blocks here, or whatever block we will be standing on. It appears I forgot to place a black concrete there and then an observer there facing outputting downwards. And then you will want to place a redstone dust right there. Before we continue, I suggest you place an immovable block on top of this observer, otherwise this flying machine will take off when you place a note block on top of this block. And then what you want to do is build out one block with another note block, and then place an observer there. Go ahead and build forward with 2 slime blocks, and then with 2 downward facing pistons. And then just another observer block here is fine. Now what you want to do is place an observer there, and go ahead and place another one there. And you will want to build up with a temporary block, and then place a downward facing observer there. We are going to go ahead and build the top floor of the elevator, which will have this platform start 15 blocks above this platform due to us building the smallest version with all 3 floors. This block is where the platform of the top floor is, and I will go ahead and build the outline for it. And this is the block that is 15 blocks higher than the platform below. Now, after you build this, what I'm going to recommend you do is go up 2 blocks and then over 3, and that will be your permanent block there to stop the elevator. Now you can go ahead and remove this block, as it will stop here. As for the actual redstone, what we will want to do is place a note block there, a note block here, and off of one side, and then an observer here, and an observer right there. On the back of this observer, what we will do is place a gray concrete there, and then build a line of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 blocks, and then over 2. Now we will place a downward facing observer, or downward outputting observer, and go ahead and place 2 redstone dust there. From here we can go ahead and build down to the ground floor and connect it there. As you can see, that will already call it to that floor because that is the call button that we are just wiring up with this redstone. To have this go back down, however, what we will need to do is build up with observers here, place redstone dust there, then light gray concrete there, there, and there, temporary block there, and then break that, and then 2 blocks over, and just connect all the redstone and place that there. That should send it back down. but you can now call it up and go back down as you wish. And with that, the top floor is done. So now we do the middle floor. 7 blocks of this platform. We will go ahead and build the base of the next platform. And we can go ahead and place the blocks for the outline and then begin the actual construction of it. To begin with, what we're going to do is place a note block against this block, and then we can go ahead and break that block. We're breaking it so that we can place a piece of redstone there, and then we can place light gray concrete there, and then an observer right there, and redstone dust. Once again, temporary block, and then go ahead and break it, and you can place the blocks there. And that is that part done. Now to make the call mechanism, we will place a note block right here, and then an observer facing into that, outputting into a gray concrete, and then place the temporary block in, and another gray concrete 1 block down. And just like before, we will go back the same number of blocks, and then over. And we will go ahead and make a redstone line here. Go ahead and break that, and then place another one there. It will go to the top, but that's okay. We can just call it back down now. On this side, what you will want to do is place a note block here as a temporary block, and then another note block off of that, and then an observer right here, outputting downwards into that concrete block. Then you'll place another concrete block there, 1 out, and then go from there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks out from here, and you can go ahead and place redstone all along that. And then you'll go over 4 blocks and place redstone along that. Here you can go ahead and build upwards with these observers. And these couple aren't really necessary, but it would be continued upwards anyway for future lines. And then 2 above this redstone dust, you will want to go here. Off of this observer, what you will want to do is place another opaque block, and then 2 blocks of honey, and 1 block of redstone. From there, you'll put a piston, and then off of this block, you will place a sticky piston. Here with light gray concrete, you will place a block here, and then a block here, and then place redstone dust there and there. Here you should place gray concrete, and then redstone dust there, and then 1 block off of that, another block up, concrete and redstone dust. We are almost done now. Here, what you want to do is place a downward facing observer, and then a black concrete, and then 1 block down, redstone dust, and another black concrete. Then go over until you have this much space, about a block space, and then go over 2 more. And that is that layer complete. And now we have 3 floors complete, including the ground. So as you can see, it'll go up to this floor, and then you can call up once more, and it can go back down. You can also call it to either the top floor or this floor. As long as it is below you, you can call it to you. And then you can also call it down from any floor that is below or above it, which I'm sending it above to show. That is my redstone tutorial complete. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any advice I could implement in the future to make these tutorials better, I would love to hear it. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, maybe give it a like, maybe share with a friend. Anyway, thank you for watching. Have a good day.